Roger, go for deploy.
Alrighty, guys, here we are. We're sitting with the Iceman, Wim Hof.
Oh yeah.
Tommy is next to me with his guitar primed and ready as always.
And so is my guitar.
Yeah, cool.
So before we throw to Wim and introduce him properly, as always, we're going to go to Tommy for Tommy's tribute.
Beautiful. Well, firstly, Wim, can I say pleasure to meet you, my friend. As I said to you just before, I've been doing those cold showers recently, and I can't wait to talk more about this. I thought, given that the fact that we're talking about cold and ice and all that sort of stuff, I'd do a cover of Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice,
baby.
Why not?
Yeah, he said it's called Ice Ice Wimmy. So
Ice Wimmy.
we'll see how we go. Hopefully I don't have to get the copyright from them, but we'll see how we go. All right, here we go. Ice, ice, Wimmy. Ice, ice, Wimmy. Yeah. All right, stop, collaborate and listen. The Iceman's back with a brand new Melbourne mission to rid the world of depression and sadness. To say the least, this guy's a freaking badass. He got to the top of Kilimanjaro. He was only wearing shorts. Oh my God, Mr. Hof, it amazes me that with all this ice, your manhood is still intact. I'm so excited to have you on the show. My Iceman, let the conversation flow.
Cool, guys.
Ice, ice, Wimmy. Welcome.
Yeah, right on.
Thank you.
I like the riff, man.
Yeah, it's an original.
You were doing some freestyling last night up on the stage, Wim. weren't you?
Yeah. I like playing guitar, too, and singing. It's the joy of life itself.
Weren't you telling us about getting a chance to do some rapping with Jay-Z?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not so impressed with people, I'm more impressed in taking away unnecessary suffering in the world.
Absolutely. That's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Wim? Basically, tell us about who you are, where you came from, bit of background.
Yeah, now I'm from the Netherlands, and Netherlands is quite moist. In the winter, it is cold, and everybody is like sitting inside. And I thought, why not go outside? I use the cold and make it your friend. And somehow I managed in that really good. And it made me like saying, hey, man, depression because of winter, dark, little days, light span, etc. It affects the people, So I made from the winter a summer. Because I found out I was very capable of adapting into the cold waters. And do anything what people do in the summer, I do in the winter. So your impression, your feeling, your experience of what winter does with you, the light, that serotonin, melatonin cycle and all that, the hormonal homeostasis, it all changes. So when you find out that, then why not go into that deeper? Oh, so we can change the environment. We can change our experience in the depth. Wow, that's power, man. And I felt great. And since I found out about that, discovered in my body, there's so much more. And now we did 26 of these world records, but so numerous more challenges in the hard nature, as they so call it. The hard nature, to me, it's the warmth and the energy and the power. As you explained to me, what's your name again?
Tom.
Oh, yeah, Tom.
What's your name again, mate? No, I'm joking.
Ice Wimmy. But great. You just told me about your cold showers 2.5 weeks ago. You stand up, you rise at 5 o'clock, and you feel full of energy. I know, I recognize all that. Because, your vascular system is so trained, the oxygen flows so much better in your body, and you become alkaline. It's like electricity, man. You got so much more energy because it gets into the cell and it creates more energy. I know all the chemical stuff now behind it because I work with all kinds of professors and doctors on this, and we are into major scientific breakthroughs just taking cold showers, breathing better, and the mindset that we are capable of so much more.
Well, that's the thing. Like when I started doing it, it was more so. I mean, I was, like I said before, I was super vibrant and energetic and ready to go, but also like the little negative thoughts. Maybe I had like, oh, you know, is there going to be like a massive class today that I'm going to have to this and that? They just weren't even there at all. That's probably what I was most amazed about. It was the thought process, not just how I felt.
Psychological lifts the cloud off your mind really early to start the day.
Exactly. And you know, the big helmet, the heavy helmet of the thoughts tolling around all day long, making you heavy. What's this? It affects your experience.
For sure.
Now, if you take these cold showers and breathe deeper, you get deeper into the brain. You're losing yourself. You disconnect from all this thinking. You just feel great.
Yeah.
So
totally.
So when did you correlate? I mean, obviously, you started doing this 25 years ago or something. These cold.
Yeah, even more. 35 years ago.
35 years ago. So when did it become? Okay, this feels really nice. This is a good way to start the day. When did you start actually putting more time and effort? How did it become such a phenomenon?
Yes.
And when did all these challenges and stuff start? How did it all come about?
It all began with the soul search. I wasn't satisfied with things the way they run every day. And I see too much, like people being not open, not enthusiastic, going to work, the same cycle over and over again. No, it's like incarcerating your mind. So it creates disease. It creates a lower being, a lower libido, lower of everything. So I went into this soul church, visiting and practicing a lot of esoteric disciplines, practices, cultures, traditions, languages. I became a soul searcher. And a soul searcher always becomes a finder. And I found out one morning, walking in the park, Sunday morning, nobody was there. Everybody still sleeping, of course. Sunday, huh? And there was a thin layer of ice on the water, and it just attracted me. I went in, and I felt this is it. Not because I was thinking about it, because I felt it. And that I was looking for, the mind-body connection directly the way nature meant it to be. And I felt great afterwards. I was only 1 minute inside. But from there, whenever you feel good about something, you go back.
Do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. And
I have a real problem with that, actually. Late at night, I can't seem to... Oh, never mind.
What do you mean? Now it becomes interesting. So from there, I came back every day during the winter, getting into the ice water. And guess what? I began to become aware of my breathing. If I was breathing deeper, then I could stay longer in the water. And a couple of months from there, experimenting with it all, and don't do it at home yet. Don't do that, because I'm not recommending directly going into the water and doing all this. But I did it. Then progressively, gradual, in control, doing the right breathing, making me able, 25 of these breaths while I was immersed in the water, up to my neck, then take a full breath in, go down for 5 to 7 minutes every time under the ice. At ease, fully under control. And that gives a tremendous power, because the cold is, you don't feel the cold anymore. It's oxygen inside the deeper layers of your physiology going into the tissue. And when that happens, the chemistry of the body is changing, and it's under your command. You know how to manipulate it.
So when you're doing these breathing techniques, I did the.
This is cool.
It's great stuff.
I did the ice bath. I've been doing cold showers as well for a while now. I did the ice bath last night for the listeners. There was an evening with Wim Hof. I happened to be there. Did the ice bath. Now, is it when you're doing your breathing technique, which we'll go into the actual how that works. When you're doing the breathing technique, then is it something that you have to actually say? It's your mind. Your mind, because you change the physiology of your body, is your mind the next thing that has to tell your body how you want it to respond? Because you've changed your physiology in more ways than one, with the heat, with the toxins in your body. So is it breathing, and then your mind has to do
exactly
the rest?
Keep it simple. It is just the mind and the breathing. Both make up the chemistry of your body. And we are in command, in possible command. That's mind-body connection. But for that, we have to change the chemistry of the body, becoming more alkaline. If we would do the breathing right now, and we had pH strips, like acidic to alkaline, then within 20 minutes, we become alkaline with these breathing techniques learned in the cold. In the cold, you have to be effective. Cold is merciless but righteous. So I found out that just by changing my breathing, I had a much more willpower, command over my body. And I could, and since then I've been doing amazing stunts, and all the scientific world could not understand how this was possible. And man, 26 world records in various disciplines, from endotoxin to climbing Mount Everest in shorts, or Kilimanjaro, or running without training, a full marathon beyond the polar circle in shorts. Barefoot half marathon.
I think you'll hold that world record of the Mount Everest one for a while, Wim. I don't think anyone's going to be going to try and beat you on that one.
The reason I love that one the most is because you were wearing shorts, but what stopped you was a foot injury. It's like, look, I'm pretty much naked here. I'm on the harshest mountain in the world, but I've got a sore foot, so I'll probably trek back. It's amazing. Hey, with the cold showers, I love the focus on the breathing, because the first time someone sort of told me, I'm following this guy, Wim Hof, and he's talking about the breathing and the cold showers. I was kind of like to myself, I'll just jump in there. Should be okay. This was only, like I said a couple of weeks ago. Turned it on right full cold, and I went in there and I actually started to suffocate. I was, and I woke up Dad. He probably thought something a little bit more sinister was going on. But it's just
now it becomes interesting again.
Dad.
It wasn't Lou, it was the super glue.
Call Dad. No, but it's amazing how I did that the first time, and it was just went to shit because I didn't know what I was doing. And then when I tried to pay more attention to the breathing, and I'd almost sort of meditate before I did it, and got really deep and relaxed, and then I went into the cold, and it was just so much easier. It was amazing,
Wow.
It was just that breathing focus,
Yes.
Can you explain the actual breath? Because people don't really know it. We're just talking about breathing. Like, can you explain or even show us? Because I was doing it last time, I wasn't sure if we were doing it right. Like, can you show us what you mean by the breathing?
Yeah, the breathing changes the alkalinity in the blood and in the tissue. When that happens, the chemistry is optimized. What do you need to go in an extreme, like cold impact, is force on the body. You need to be optimized. Now, if you make yourself optimized using breathing to get deeper in the tissue, then you optimize the chemistry, and then the pain signal will not come even under the stress of a cold, freaking cold shower. I mean ice water, even that. And it shows that we are. I've been doing stuff, but doing the breathing well, optimizing my chemistry, makes me almost invulnerable. The water feels soft. And why? Because it's about the chemistry. The chemistry is able to neutralize the impact on the nervous system of the impact of the cold, a force on, and we got this chemistry, and it can be under our command. So changing the alkalinity of the blood, that's just one. We just completed new studies, and it all shows that people are able to tolerate pain far more by influencing that chemistry within the body. So it's not only about the cold, it's also about the heat, deprivation of oxygen, like Mount Everest or Kilimanjaro, and then in shorts. But also the daily stress, and also emotion is stress. And also what a bacille and a virus and a bacteria are creating is stress. And we are able, if we just go in with the breathing, to change the chemistry of the body, optimizing it, and then it tackles all these problems with no problem.
It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's so simple.
Why is it so unknown then, do you think, to the Western world and to people that have these daily issues?
I think because people have choices. And if you say to people without knowing, do you like to take a cold bath or a warm bath? Hey, I think almost 100% goes into the warm bath.
Yeah.
So it's learning how to consciously expose ourselves to a discomfort which optimizes the effectivity of our body. And that's all about it. And that's why it's not known. I went in after a soul search, looking in all kinds of books and languages, traditions, blah, blah, and so much more. But the call brought me directly to what I was looking for, this feeling inside. And it's all inside everybody. And now it showed that I, after training, 12 people, in the cold for 4 days, they were just able to take bacteria and to control it within a quarter of an hour. Because their optimized chemistry makes them suddenly, under their will, of what science said, that is not possible, because that's the autonomic nervous system. We opened it up. And now it's accessible for everybody. They all 100% score after injection of the bacteria, were able to make it go away.
And what did you take?
It is amazing.
What did you take these students through? You just took when in preparation. So you had 4 days of these guys. What specifically did you take them through? You taught them the breathing. Is it just the breathing? It's
breathing just the focus. Breathing. Listen, if you get your focus, it also showed in the university that me after just standing there, taking blood off me, while motionless standing there, me by just thinking, after breathing well, chemistry right, then my body becomes under my command in the depth, in the autonomic nervous system. And it shows in cell activity that without movement, I'm able to raise my cell activity 300%. That's like running, but without moving.
You raised your body temperature in an ice bath, didn't you?
That it is. And then I have no problem.
Not to say my body temperature is not going to drop. You were like, well, actually, motherfuckers, that's going to go up.
And it did. And it showed 80 minutes in the ice bath, and the core body temperature even raised. And I was able to talk to the professors, to the doctors. Nobody saw me shivering or anything. And it shows. And they took the blood while I was in. And they exposed it in the laboratory. And they had a bacteria, E. coli bacteria, and a toxin implemented into, getting inside this tube with my blood. And normally it has an enormous reaction on the immune cells of that blood. With me and my blood, 0 reaction.
So it was supposed to give you a fever or something, right?
Yes, fever, headaches, overall agony, like a good flu.
Like a really nice flu.
Yeah.
Delicious, you know. Bit of potato on the side.
After doing this, like what we showed yesterday in the venue here, people should be able to counteract any flu coming up, or any cold, or any inflammation, if they just take it up. Learning how to breathe better is bringing the oxygen in the tissue. That's the tissue where the emotions, psychosomatic things happen, the dirt of our body, the acidity gets there, and we are able to function, but because we breathe shallow, it stays over there. And that causes all the diseases. That causes dysfunctionality. That causes that you are not able to tackle the flu because your system is full of shit. So what we do, simply, I tell to everybody by this podcast, and we got this on like a free course on our website.
Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes so everyone can link.
Yeah, there's no money involved. Just go learn the basics. Look into the physiology of already conducted studies. We have proven all this, and this is going to change our way we think of inflammation, pain, depression, all that shit. So taking the shit out, we become natural, optimized, being able to have a control over the hormonal system, immune system far deeper, makes us happy, strong, and healthy.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Why would
really.
anyone not say yes to that? I'm excited. I'm a little bit too excited. I've got to remove myself from the room for a second. Wow.
Good show in the morning, man. Getting optimized.
I'm almost there. I'm optimizing.
It's been a really deep sexual connotation conversation, hasn't it?
It really has.
Hey, Wim, so...
Yeah,
what about,
I have to say,
Go on.
even the virility, which is a gene expression in the DNA, we got there. So people, if they do this breathing, the virility say Viagra goodbye.
No need.
Yeah.
See you later, Viagra.
Wow. Yeah. No need for that.
Beat it, sucker.
Have a good time.
Maybe Viagra should do some breathing techniques. Ultra Viagra.
So basically, I'm pretty sure what we're trying to say is... Actually, we won't go any further.
Okay,
We don't need to go too far. Hey, I've got a
I
question.
got the message.
Hey, I've got a question regarding, like, because you've been harping on about this stuff for a long time, Wim, and I'm sure that before this study in, when was it, 2011, the study? I'm sure that before the study in 2011, no one was taking you seriously. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, man, a lot of mockery and cynicism and critical minds about this, saying that I was completely crazy, and I'm still crazy.
Yeah.
but
You're crazy, but you're right.
yes, I'm crazy about the life, man, and I'm right too.
Yeah.
I already 25 years ago told that the autonomic nervous system, immune system, can be influenced deeply, and then you get the critics over you. And together with that, a lot of mockery and cynicism. But now it's science.
Is that why you did a lot of these feats, such as the Everest thing, such as the running through the marathon?
Yeah.
Is that just to
show
show
it.
people to get listen
show
to
it.
me, look at me, and look at what I'm
Hey,
doing?
words they don't understand. They just take you up for an idiot. But if you do feats, they gotta scratch the backs of their heads and begin to think, hey, what is this guy doing? And so the scientists did, because I got on being broadcast by BBC, Discovery Channel, National Geographic, ABC, NBC. I don't know. There were too many television.
Vice Media, that's the new one. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, Vice was a good one. Nice as a story explaining the real deal. And yes, then the scientists took it up because what this man is doing, what he is stating on television, and what he is doing, this cannot be done, but he is doing it. So this is the way the scientists began to invite me to experiment and to show by scientific scrutiny that my statements, and it showed directly. I went into this physiological department of the university, and a lot of professors monitoring. It was all there, a big circus. Because what kind of a physiological experiment it is? A guy goes 80 minutes exposing himself into freezing cold up till his neck and being completely controlled by all kinds of wiring, pills inside to measure core body temperature, taking blood all the time, long heartbeat, saturation, the whole thing, like 20 of these computers monitoring, connected with me. I looked like a marionette, man.
Yeah.
And being in the ice and with a big mask to see about the acidity and things like that. And then they found out what I was doing is influencing into the autonomic nervous system and in the hormonal system and in the immune system, and even deeper. They did not have the right measurement devices a couple of years ago. Now they see that I created brain waves, that I'm in the deepest of the tissue. They had not these measurement devices, but what they had done that normally could not have been done physiologically, seen like as science is saying this is the capability of the human physiology, but he is surpassing all this. And they had all these measurements like core body temperature, not only not decreasing in 80 minutes, going up.
That's insane.
And no shivering, and then cell activity like 300-400% more than normal while I'm doing nothing. 600-700 kilos of ice around me. I cannot do anything. And he's raising his core body temperature, the metabolic rate of activity in the cell, and then taking the blood, as I told you already, in ex vivo, that means in laboratory without me, but normally enormous reaction on the immune cells, and now zero reaction. They never had seen that. So they invited me for more, to see if I was able to counteract endotoxin in life. Yeah, and so I did. But then they said, hey man, but you are the Iceman. It takes so much training. You are an exception that confirms the rule. I said, no way.
Yeah.
Everybody is able to do that. So guys like you, I took on like 18, and 12 of them got selected to do it. It was all randomly chosen people, not subjectively, all objectively, without me. And I took them on, and 4 days later, they were all, without prior experience in the cold, being able to stay for hours from -10 to -27 on a mountain in shorts, having a good time.
Good time.
Really?
Not only surviving, but having a real belter.
Yeah, man. And then I knew of these guys, they are able to tackle the bacteria anytime. And 4 days later, they were in the hospital, and they all did 100%. Wow. So within a quarter of an hour, that means not only these guys are able to do that, anybody can do this.
So what goes on in your mind when you're in the cold? Not just a normal sort of shower here and there, like a real 80-minute submerge in ice. What are you thinking? How are you going through that?
Actually, do not think too much. You're not going for a picnic if you go into the ice cold, but you learn to mind about your feeling. And if you do that, then suddenly you become aware that you are, if you would look biochemically at it, that you are raising your adrenaline, controlled stress hormone. If we got a good shot of adrenaline, we become strong, man.
Oh yeah.
But we do not know how to control that anymore because we don't get into this dangerous situations no more. So it's not stimulated, this connection, by our command, the conscious mind, and the brainstem, where all the adrenaline is being made, and all the other hormones, the hormonal system. And so we are not able to get this adrenaline going when we are mostly victims of this stress hormone, adrenaline, stress, called stress. stress oxidates in the cell, deregulates the DNA, and the whole thing. And we don't think we cannot have control over that. And I say we can have control over that, and that's what we do when we go in the ice bath. Just mind your breathing, be with your feeling. Then the natural mind-body connection into the brainstem will set up, make adrenaline, and suddenly you feel, hey, I can do this. Hey man, that's the way nature meant it to be.
Well, it's pretty amazing considering how much adrenaline, the hormones, and anxiety and stress and everything that goes on in our head and our body, how much negative impact it has. So obviously it's very powerful, but like we talk about anxiety and depression, there's so much of that comes in a real, in a bad sense. It's amazing how strong the human body is. It's pretty powerful, and it's just, surely it was built to use those powers in a good way as well. You know what I mean? We weren't obviously evolved to, well, obviously there's reasons for the anxiety and stuff back in prehistoric history and stuff, but surely there's ways that we can, and you're proving it, that we can use our amazing human body for good.
Yes, and the prehistorics were the prehistorics. Those were those circumstances people had to survive. So they resort much more to this adrenaline. But the neurology of our brain has evolved so much, accelerated so much. We have 20 times more neurological pathways than in the Middle Ages.
Right.
Wow.
Last 50 years, and they take the example. Apollo 13, big time. People go to the moon. Step one, step for a man, a huge step for mankind, things like that, And all these control chambers from the Earth and the moon, that's big time. So now we got all that Apollo project in an iPhone.
Yeah, that's true.
That's our neurological product. And we are not aware of this neurology. But now it is the time for this neurology to re-enter into this adrenaline state, the prehistoric state, and thus gain control over that. Makes our neurology flow a lot better. We are in command, and thus we do the brain research now. And the professors, they have seen this, what I do with the autonomic nervous system, blah, blah. It's all in the brain, in the deepest part of the brain. We are over there creating the right waves, like gamma and delta and theta. It's like being at ease. Stress hormone completely controlled. Not being in stress, be fully relaxed. And that is very important for those who suffer from PTSD, trauma, fear, depression, psychosis, call it. And we do not have any answer to it. And now we got it. We're going to prove this very soon, together with the universities of San Francisco, Detroit, and Hanover.
And what exactly will you do in those studies for PTSD, and like what training will you do?
Breathing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Right.
Sorry, it is simple.
So will it be an ongoing study? Like will it be a prolonged study? So these people use the breathing techniques for 6 months, and how much better they felt? How's it actually
2 months. 2 months. And they will be regularly scanned by MRI, fMRI, spectrographics, biochemical, blood, and psychological, and brain imaging. So there is no speculation going to be left. We're going to show that we are able to create new neurological pathways, direct, very shortcut into the deepest part of our brain, enabling us to have a sense of control over our adrenaline, over the stress hormones. Thus, the anxiety which creates stress, fear creates stress, trauma creating stress, will be under our command.
Wow.
Just by breathing and minding. Simple.
Hey, there's a lot of studies that talk about mindfulness meditation and how the positive effects of that are just amazing. I was reading one and they say like after 8 weeks doing a lot of mindfulness breathing meditation, you can have amazing effects on, desensitizing or reducing the part of the brain that's responsible for the ego and all that sort of stuff, and increasing the side that's responsible for empathy and all that sort of stuff. How do your breathing techniques, if they do, differ from mindfulness meditation or mindfulness breathing?
Mindfulness meditation makes you go inside deeper levels of the brain, which is the limbic system. There is the parasympathetic nervous system related, which gives us peace. And we need peace to get cell rehabilitation and all that. And then the ego is not so much in play, because this is very much related to thought and action and doing, and then we get the anxiety again, and we cannot stop this loop. But it takes quite some time to get into these realms just by being mindful. And the chemistry is still not right, because the thought and mindfulness is being full of thought, but full with the energy of this moment, and then minding about nothing, just being mindful without coming into thought. So this energy goes from neocortex, which is the loop, going on, influx, and associating, etc. Suddenly, there is no connection, there is no influx anymore. It's only one thing, just being mindful. And this neocortex says, hey, there is no danger. I don't need to process anything. I'm going to shut down. And then the energy goes in, and you feel without ego, because the ego was related to these thoughts and all that. And it feels good. But it takes a lot of time. So these breathing techniques, they bring your chemistry right, make it alkaline, and it gives you, because of not breathing anymore, after retention, after this breathing, people enabling a woman 82 years old within a half hour being able to retain from breathing 2.5 minutes. And suddenly you get a control over the chemistry inside the brain. Because the brain, the thoughts and all that, needs oxygen. Now, if you trick the brain by doing this breathing, bringing up the alkalinity, that's the functionality of the body is being maintained, and it's okay, even better than normal, because it's alkaline, then we do not need to breathe for a while anymore. Being alkaline, we take the oxygen because we want to be alkaline. That's chemistry. That's why we breathe. Oxygen is chemistry, it's part of the chemistry. If it becomes too acidic, then we breathe again. That's the way. So now we bring up the alkalinity. Then in the brain stem, we got a oxygen parameter. And it tells us, if there is too less oxygen, because the body got to be acidic, we cannot function anymore, we get the trigger of carbon dioxide to breathe. Now it doesn't anymore because we are alkaline. It's not sore, it's not acidic. So we are able to stay without breathing 2.5 minutes. And this neocortex, these thought processes, the influx, the daily stress, coping with it, needs oxygen. Now it's no longer there. The body is in the right condition chemically, and it suddenly, whoop, shuts down, goes into the depth of the brain. You get all the tranquility, you get the adrenaline even going. Within that tranquility, sets about the greatest effectivity of your body, because that's what adrenaline does. In a dangerous situation, you need the adrenaline to make your body stronger,
fight or flight,
more effective, fight or fly, get it in the most effective state of being. But now in full tranquility, That's control over the brain. That's the control over the processes all over and making it the best. The way nature meant it to be.
Yeah.
It's a circle. You see the circle? So maybe a little bit difficult to understand, yeah. But we have already shown this in scientific areas, and only now they begin to understand. So we are touching some real deep shit here.
Yeah.
And it is good shit.
100%. It's
So,
the shit.
Yes.
Like it's the most important thing.
So the resume of it, mindfulness, takes for too many people have no control over this loop thing, going on and thinking I cannot meditate,
And they're not changing their physiology and really shutting off that neocortex like you're saying, right?
Yes.
That's the actual change inside of your body rather than just slowing the thoughts, using your breathing. You're actually trying to shut something off.
Yeah.
Yes.
And soaking the body in that.
Yes, and it goes
alkalinity.
within 7 minutes.
See, that's such a good point.
Way better than 7-minute abs.
Yeah, 7 minute abs.
Yeah, man.
7-minute brain.
Let's do that today. 7 minute brain.
That's a new product for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 minute Wim Hof ab brain.
Yeah, that's some breakdance.
Yeah. No, that's such a good point that you raised. It's the people that meditate because they have the goal to be happier, as opposed to just becoming more one with like how we were supposed to live. It's really interesting. I love it. Just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Ice, Willie.
So what about Wim? You spoke about last night the fact that you're now. It used to be that you were reaching out to people, screaming at people, "Hey, test me! Look, I'm serious. Come and see what I'm doing." Then you obviously all these feats that's got you the attention. All these documentaries. Now the studies. Now people are coming to you.
Yes.
So now there's people throwing money at you. We want to do this study. We want to do that study. Because they've realised that what you're doing it's real and it's tangible. It's been shown. So what's in the future for the research? I mean, do you think? It's a very big question, and I don't want to offend any listeners that are struggling with
the
things.
more critical, the better.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, but I mean, not offensive to you, but like to listeners. My question is, do you think that there's going to be times that we'll be able to fight cancer and other terrible diseases? This is what I mean. Like people obviously, I don't want to give anyone false hope, but like what's the future for this research? Where do you see it, and what are you?
I think we got the right direction here. We are now capable to get into the deepest of our brain. The command is going to be much more over our bodies. And we are doing the research on inflammation, pain, psychosis, depression, and all. And that's not for nothing, because they found out that this is the key into it all. But we have to be going very diligently, because bold exclamations, we can beat cancer, depression, Alzheimer, and all that. I believe so. But I want science to back me up.
Yep.
Sure.
So I go for non-speculative scientific scrutiny. Bang, come on. Because I believe so, and I think so. I mean, how much depression does a rabbit have?
A rabbit?
A rabbit. I mean, all these mammalians.
They look pretty bloody happy to me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's only
Well,
with
there's that famous
humans.
expression that they enjoy themselves like rabbits.
Better.
Ice swimming.
That's what it is. We are actually mammalians, but we have not the capacity of a mammalian anymore. So this one brings that back. Mother Nature, the nature of ours, the deeper physiology of ours, has the answers. Yeah. That's what I believe. But we need science to back it up. And now we got the measurement devices. But you know what? Science went really slow on this because there's no money to get there.
Yeah.
There's money to be lost for a lot of large corporations and companies that
It's
sell.
money to be lost and happiness, strength, and health to be gained.
Yep.
Where do we go for?
Well, obviously
we go for the latter.
Obviously, it's pretty clear, but I mean, there's a lot of people that
that's a
would
really
be
good issue. There's a lot of people that have their money is involved in giving people these pills and these products and these, hay fever tablets and their cold and flu and all this sort of stuff. It's, yeah. Do you get any backlash from those sorts of people? Or?
Big pharma.
Just no interest from universities, and it took them years. I mean, I'm the first one to show that the autonomic nervous system can be influenced, not little bit, big time, that related to, say, bacteria, virus, diseases and all that, and depression is the solution. But they didn't take it up. That was first time in scientific history showing that we have a far deeper possible control over ourselves, preventing from disease so much more, preventing from falling in strange moods, so much more. We are so much more able to control our hormonal homeostasis and immune system, making us happy, strong, and healthy anytime we want. And that's the way nature meant it to be.
Yeah.
But nobody, of course, is interested in that because it doesn't make money.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Yeah, sorry, but I keep on going right now. Any backlash, and I know many of them, I just keep on just for simple happiness, strength, and health for everybody.
Yeah. It's also as well, I believe, because, it's so unconventional to the modern way, because a lot of Westerners tend to believe that, while we've progressed so far scientifically and medically speaking from those ages when we used to have to do that, now we can just take a pill and we can lose weight and we can rid our worlds of depression. I guess the ironic thing is that we're more depressed and diseased than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as much developed as countries we are, and so much technology we are, how many people are depressed? How many people are suffering from autoimmune diseases or cancer or anything like that? How far we have gotten from control and confidence and belief that we are able to become, and give that to our children, some happiness, strength, and health instead of a stressful career. Go there, become the best, do the elbow work. You have to do the. Everybody in anxiety, man. No, if we just bring it back to these deeper control within us, possible deeper control, scientifically backed up, then we will be able to guarantee the most valuable in life for every child, every person in the world, which is happiness, strength, and health. Related simply, I think that's love. But love composed by control over the hormonal system and immune system that enables us to create dopamine, melatonin, happiness,
all the good
serotonin,
stuff.
yes, and then the strength, the adrenaline, epinephrine, cortisol, that's the power, energy management, breathing better creates more energy, mitochondria, we all showed this, and the health, that is the immune system, and we have shown to get into deepest of layers of the immune system, fending off a bacteria within a quarter of an hour. I mean, that is control, but that is also the guarantee of love for a child, the most valuable. And then the most valuable will stay the most valuable instead of grieving for compensation because you don't feel happy. You don't feel strong. You don't feel healthy. You feel threatened by it all in this competitive society.
You think it's interesting that none of this stuff, not particularly your method, because your method's just coming to us now, but do you think it's funny that none of this is taught in schools? You just talked about children and the fact
exactly. We learn about mathematics, history, language, and all that shit. I mean, it's good shit.
It's necessary, but it's not the most important thing.
I speak many languages. I love history. I love it all. But the subject, health, strength, and happiness should be in the school system.
100%.
I don't understand.
Now we are able to get it in.
Yep.
And that's the most important.
Yep.
Because without that, what are you producing? What are you radiating? What energy do you have? And how are you becoming really a positive contribution and productive in society. If you
Yeah.
don't get the energy,
Yeah, that's
health, and happiness, what are we doing with this society? It must become happy and strong and healthy. And then the creativity is far better.
Yep.
Absolutely.
100%.
The ceiling for everyone is raised.
Yes.
God.
Wim, I want
Great
to touch.
goal.
I want to touch. That was amazing what we just discussed. I want to touch on just before we finish up today. I want to touch on some of the feats that you've done. So you climbed past the death zone in Everest in a pair of shorts. You've done the full polar marathon in shorts. I'm looking at some of the stats here. Marathon in the Namib Desert without any water. You hung from your finger.
Yeah, this one.
Just a real fuck you.
Tell us about this. Tell us about this feat. You hung from your finger.
Fuck you,
2000.
society.
Yeah.
This is the one that intrigues me the most, actually.
Also, the mockery and the cynicism. I made it a big finger.
That's why you used that finger.
Nice.
It was deliberately this finger.
We went with 2 balloons, hot air balloons.
Yep.
Tied at these baskets to each other.
I'm just picturing this.
Yeah, big balls.
It's red.
Just 2 big Wim Hofs.
Going up and 1.5 kilometer, there was a line like 30 meters between the baskets.
Mm-hmm.
I climbed into the middle. Then there was a device, a little dynamic rope, and 11 millimeters.
Right.
And then get my finger in it, hang there for half a minute. 1.5 kilometer up in the air in midwinter. Your hands get cold, and you lose
normal
grip
people's
and
hands get
control. Yeah, and so showing that. So it was a nice trip, man.
Yeah.
It was a good party trick.
Yeah.
The last party trick I tried to do, I tried to do a backflip on a dance floor, and I put myself in. I smacked my head and put myself in hospital for a night. So I'm not as good with the party tricks, but
But the only reason that happened is because he wasn't breathing.
I forgot to do the Wim Hof breathing technique beforehand.
Breathe out, bro.
Possibly, man.
But in a more serious note regarding these feats that you've done, tell us about a time that it didn't really go right. Like, is there any time that Everest? I saw something in a documentary at one point that it was something with the ice. You dove under the ice and swam in. Tell us about one of the times that went wrong.
The first time I went under, I didn't do regular ice diving underneath the ice because in the Netherlands the water is quite blurry.
Right.
So you can't see anything, and so I'm not used to swim under the ice over there. Now they invited me to go to Lapland, beyond the polar circle, to do ice swimming over there. So they had set out a distance of 50 meters underneath a 1 meter layer of ice. Mm-hmm. Okay, I did my breathing. Tuning in, oxygenizing, alkalinity, all there. Take them in last. You feel it, huh? You feel that you become charged while being in the water. Going down under the ice and then horizontally begin to swim. Okay, went fantastic. Up till 35 meters. Is when the vision on my cornea, the retina became blurred because of the cold. We are just no sealed. That's what I found out at that moment, But no time to think. I was not thinking at all. Just adrenaline comes in. I know how to do that, but you go into survival modus. Little thinking there. It just kept on. I had it measured, the distance. It takes me, my stroke is 1 meter 20. Somebody else's 1 meter 30 or 90 centimeters, it doesn't matter. Mine is 120. I had it tested in the swimming pool and all. So I had measured 42 strokes makes 49 meters 60. Then I'll see the hole very clear and there's no problem. So But at 35 meters, I lost it. I lost sight, and I got into this non-thinking state, survival, automatically. And at 48, I began to think again. Oh, 48 instead of 42. You know, subconsciously, you keep on counting. And 48, and then I swam back 6 strokes back because they're very fast. You know, 6. That's after 60 meters breath hold underneath the ice already. Then this is very long, like 6 strokes like that underneath this glass wall, and me feeling there again, nothing. So 6 over there. Every time 6 in my head, 6 there, 6 there, 6 there, is when my vision, the optical vision, went just like that. Only this. You know, I didn't feel any agony of drowning. No pain, no nothing. I was fully aware there. But the vision became very little, and then I went on with swimming, and slowly I lost the light, I lost my consciousness, and went into a sleeping state. And then somebody grabbed me, a diver, and he brought me back to the 50-meter hole. I had swum 113 meters.
Oh my God!
Is that one of your world records?
Without admitting to me.
Unofficially, it is. I know what I did. You know, but the best thing about that one is that I lost the fear of dying.
Yeah.
Over there. And the other day I had to do the 50 meters, piece of cake.
For sure.
You know, I lost the fear of death, because if we just breathe better at the time of death and raise the alkalinity, then you just go into a sleep.
Yeah. So what was going through your mind?
Kind of makes me want to do it. I don't want to die, but kind of makes me want to kind of die. Just practice it.
What was going through your mind?
Easy. I have to tell. Don't do the breathing in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning you have no control.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you think you have the control, you feel confident. Don't do it, because you can lose the control, you die. It's called shallow water blackout. This is a very strong technique derived from being in nature by me on Everest, and 26 records. They all prove it. But I did a lot of training, very gradual, very controlled. You cannot expect to do this shit in water just in 10 minutes or something. Or in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks. Do the effects of the breathing techniques derived from this and scientifically endorsed are enormous for any person if he just takes it up seriously. Follow the guidelines and you will find out about the depth of your physiology, the way nature meant it to be, and that's enormous. So that's a little not a little warning, it's a big warning.
Yes, very big warning. Yep.
Just use it at home. Lay in your bed together with your girlfriend or with your partner, whatever it is, and have a good time, because it works on virility as well.
We've already discussed that. Viagra's stock is plummeting as we speak.
Well, Bill and I might do it together. We'll just jump in the ice bath and we'll get you on a Skype. Go and win.
Really does, man. It really does.
Wow.
So we know we can't keep you all day, Wim. We've got a few questions that we normally throw to at the end of our show. Before we go to those, I wanted to ask you a couple of things. So firstly, what's next for you now?
Right now, I'm going to Sydney, and I've talked with a professor over there.
Yep.
And I want to begin a foundation, because I want to help charity with the money I get. Of course, I need my own living, but I don't need much. But I need what I need, and I need to make that secure as well. 35, 40 years of training and all is getting condensed now, breaking throughs scientifically, it's all coming. I just want to have a relaxed life. But I'm not a money graver or anything, because I want to help the people, and I want to help a charity by having a foundation. And for independent research, but moreover also for homeless people and people who are in need. I will make that foundation together with the right people here in Australia, in Sydney. Then directly afterwards, that means in 2 days, I'm going to Alaska. Have a film, the superhumans. I'm a fucking superhuman. That's what they call me. I'm just normal, and I listen to the natural capability of mine, taught by Mother Nature outside, and it knows more than the books are telling, so they call it superhuman. No, it's actually the optimized human being, which should be available for everybody. And from there I go to the Netherlands to have new scientific research. I'm in ongoing research programs. And I'm going to go back to Alistair Overeem. He's a friend of mine.
He's in the title in Cleveland in a couple of
that's
months.
Because of this.
You going to go over there for it?
This is because of this shit, man.
Yeah.
Of this breathing shit.
Well, he started working with you about the time he went on this 5-fight win streak or something, didn't he?
Yeah. And since then he is skyrocketing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
That's awesome. So before we go to 6 from 6, which is our questions, I want to ask finally, what are you most proud of in your life, Wim?
Yeah, recognition that a man just with his belief is able to bring the most valuable back to the people. That means belief in ourselves.
That's awesome.
Yep. Easy.
Awesome.
Easy said.
All right, so to wrap it up, we normally go 3 questions from myself, 3 questions from Tommy, 6 from 6. They're kind of rapid fire-ish questions. I normally start us off.
Yep.
So you're a well-travelled man, I would imagine, Wim.
Yes.
So what is your favourite destination on the planet? Can be a small town, can be a country, can be a whole continent.
Maybe thinking of it now. Yeah, it is nature, but yesterday evening the venue was so great, such a light energy, so lovable, and I think I'm going to live here in Australia.
You said that last night.
Yeah,
I
man.
like it that much.
Yeah.
I've got a spare room at my joint if you ever need a bed.
I've got a spare box in my house. That we don't need it. We can put ice in it.
Everybody thinks I love the cold so much. Fuck that, man. I love the heat. Give me sun. But if there is cold, I use the cold, and I love it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Cool.
So, anywhere where there is the love and belief with the people sharing and caring, that's a great spot. Doesn't matter where it is.
All right. Beautiful. So the next question is a place, it's a similar vibe, a place that you haven't been that you really want to get to. Can be anywhere.
Yeah, it could be like in South America.
South America's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's my favourite part of the world by a mile.
Okay.
You would love it because it's just full of natural wonders.
Okay.
Glaciers and rivers, waterfalls, volcanoes, it's all there.
Yeah, my Spanish is perfect.
Yeah.
So I'll be cool.
Yeah, see you there.
Yeah. Right on, man.
I'll stay here.
Last question for me is, if you're on a desert island, Wim, you've got 3 things to keep you sane, entertained, so forth. You've got water and a toothbrush and all the necessities. What are the 3 things that you got to keep you sane?
Sexual partner.
Easy done.
Yep.
Easy
Again,
done.
I'll chime in there. And,
a good swimming pool.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
in
you
the
got
desert, huh? Oh, if we
You're
got
on a
the
desert island, so keep that one. Keep that one.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe some communication device to be with the rest of the world.
For sure.
And the last one, just be happy. So happiness, I don't know if that's a thing. But,
it's not a tangible thing, but we'll take it.
All right.
We'll take it.
Yeah, that's it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Hey, Wim, did you have a role model growing up? Or do you have a current role model? Like someone you look up to, yeah.
Yeah, actually, it was my brother. He went when he was 16, hitchhiking from the Netherlands to India. In those times, that was all different. And he did several of those things, and he always came back in this strange way, and sort of mystical. Cultures and traditions and different ways of thinking make people think different, be different. And that I found was mystical. So he was a sort of a role model. And then I read a whole lot. Sayers and Mandela, Gandhi, all those people. And, great sports, Muhammad Ali. People like that. Diverse people. You see them and they inspire. So, but anybody who inspires you, that's your role model. Could be your neighbor.
Yep. Probably not my neighbour. He's a good guy. Frankie's all right. What do you like to do in your downtime, when you have some downtime or spare time? What do you like to do?
A lot of gardening, painting, making music.
Oh, yeah, we got a jam after this, don't we?
Yeah.
Smash the guitar out. That'd be good.
Nice. So, yes. And, when I get my rest and my peace, then it's begin to itch again. I want to change the world. And I think I can do that together with non-speculative science.
Yep.
And somebody's got to do this. So we do this. You guys do this too. This is good work. We may invigorate people. Man. We spirit people. We optimize our mental skills. We feel love for the life. We love it.
We love it.
That's why we wanted to get you on the show, Wim, because me and Tommy, we started off, just to diverge, but we started off with lots of fitness and adventure interviewers from our show, because that's who we could get access to and so on and so forth. But we've had some great guests, and these guys, we're going to keep continuing to talk to people like that, but these are the stories that need to be told to the world. And although we only have a small listenership, this is what myself and Tommy are both passionate about, bringing stories that will actually change things and different perspectives.
I recognize that spirit.
Yeah.
And I love that. So being little or being big is the same thing. We all share the love for life.
Yeah.
And it is being spirited. And then you get the stories. Because spirited people get into stories. They make their own stories. And those stories are interesting.
Yeah. Bloody oath.
Yep. And final one, my friend. If you could have 3 people, dead or alive, to dinner, who would they be and why? And your family can be there. Just 3 people that you'd love to chat to. Apart from Bill and myself, obviously.
I think my mother, Mandela, and Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Nice.
Yeah.
Why Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I love him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was one of mine.
Such a great music. My son is he's called Michael because of Michael Jackson. His moves, man, and his music, and his vulnerability too. He was traumatized in his youth and all that, man. The way he gets out, he's a victim of his, And those.
Yep.
Mandela, my mother, and Michael Jackson, the 3 M's.
Love it. Yeah. True. We'll be drinking big M's. Awesome. And finally, Wim, if people want to find you on the internet, on social media, what should they look up? How can they find you?
On internet is by innerfire.nl. NL is the Netherlands. So Inner Fire, that's not out of fire, but Inner Fire. And from there it shows it self. There is a free course, and you can take it on, and then you feel it, because feeling is understanding.
Awesome. Amazing. Hey Wim, thanks for coming on the show, and hopefully we'll get to do something like this again, because I'm talking to your son Enem about getting you on one of our trips for some coaching for our crew. So
great.
Stay tuned to all the listeners for that. Hopefully we'll spend a lot more time learning from the Iceman.
Yeah, man. We just keep it up.
Beautiful.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Keep it on. And next time I got a lot more breakthroughs
Yeah.
For
to
sure.
report. So
Yeah, it'd be good to catch up.
it's going to be interesting again.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Wim.
Thanks,
Keep at
Wim.
it. Let's
All
keep
right.
at it.
Cheers, brother.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.